Painting knows no frontiers. Of all the arts, it is the most immediate, the most ready of access. Of all the arts, it is the least constrained by cultural difference. Literature is tied to its particular language, music to a set of conventions that bind it within its cultural limits, more than is the case with painting. It is in painting that the transforming power of art is most evident, for it can draw on what we might regard as a natural and universal human faculty for seeing something as other than it is. Richard Wollheim called it seeing in, and Leonardo was the first to describe it when he advised painters that they could stimulate the imagination by looking at stained surfaces and seeing in them whatever scenes they wished. And yet painting is at the same time the most territorial of the arts, the only one bounded by a perimeter, its very own frontier, its surface, its frame. Painting is also, like the other plastic arts, material, concrete, and tied to the specific. The materials the cave painters used were of necessity those found locally. It is through its narrowness and particularity, then, that painting opens to the world and opens up a world. It offers a frontier in order that we should cross it. The present exhibition has a transnational theme, and it proposes a dialogue across frontiers. The 10 London painters shown here have long sustained a dialogue amongst themselves. Of course, like any artist working today, they draw on sources diverse in origin and date, but the common element we might regard as Italian may be found in their particular investment in precisely that transformative capacity in painting Wollheim named seeing in. Accepting that this potential in painting is universal, we might encapsulate its Italian realization in an aphorism: painting takes us into another country.
So this is an exhibition called Another Country, which has the work of 10 contemporary artists, each one who has looked at the work of a 20th century Italian artist in the Estorick Collection. Here is Merlin James, who has looked at the work of Madame de Rosso. Over here, the work of Luke Elwes, looking at the landscapes that surround Music. These paintings are by Lino Manocci, who has a particular interest in the metaphysical painters De Chirico and Carrara. And over here, the artist Glenys Johnson, who has looked at the work of Ida Barbarigo, who was married to Zora Music. Tony Bevan, whose paintings are concerned with the kind of architectural structures which also interested Giorgio Maraghi. And in the next gallery, we have Andrei Jacosti, who has looked at the work of Carlo Carrara as well. And next to him, Thomas Newbold, who has looked at the work of Marino Marini. Opposite him, Tim Hyman, who has looked at the work of Cireri. Arturo Di Stefano, who has also looked at the work of Morandi. And finally, Alex Lowry, who's looked at the work of Filippo